think we're streaming. Okay. Welcome to week 4 again. Week 4 of the Line Paradise podcast. Today we don't have any GMs with us, blah blah blah, because they couldn't appear. They have their own things to do. We don't really have much to talk about with them until the game comes out. But we do have with us Zio, who's gonna say something eventually. Justin, Yuji-san,
Yo.
Hello.
Estelle,
Hi.
Taru,
Hi.
and Ace. Ace.
So,
That's not Ace.
Hello.
That's Zio. Um. So yeah, we couldn't have the GMs today. I put the background as if you're on the stream, it's the 6 people from Hello Venus. Have no idea who they are. I don't listen to K-pop very much. I used to listen to like stuff before. I don't know if you guys listen to K-pop much. Probably not. Maybe YouTube.
Nah.
Not at all.
No, okay,
Nah.
yeah, no one listens.
okay, actually I do.
Only the
Like,
male
not gonna lie,
ones,
I do
I
listen to
listen to.
K-pop.
Only the male ones. I think I started with a DBSK or Q whatever way back when they were like a J-pop band because of anime or
You was a
something.
fanboy, wasn't you?
No,
Yeah.
but yeah, so
I like the K-pop where you can actually understand what they're saying.
so no K-pop.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I don't know much about K-pop. I don't know much about Hello Venus. I don't think you guys know about them.
Mm-mm.
So I had to go look it up, and they're apparently a new K-pop group, and they're slowly going up, but they're pretty new. So it was like a pretty big thing for them to get on the Lime Odyssey thing. It was kind of a win-win for both of them in Korea, because they wanted popularity, the game wanted popularity, so yeah. And apparently it was like they had like a 40% increase in female players for Lime Odyssey
Awesome.
after watching this ad. It was something like that. I read it's like
That's
40%.
awesome.
40%.
That's actually awesome.
And,
My
and
question is, how does that work?
I have no idea. I don't even know how they figured it out. It was
Let me see if
40%.
I can explain. Okay. In Asia, like towards like Korea and Japan and Tokyo and stuff like that, they probably put like tracking
Tokyo
devices
isn't a
in like the
country, by the
internet
way.
cafes.
Tracking
So,
device.
because people don't play computer
Tracking
games at
device?
home in Asia, I can guarantee you there's going to be more people playing uh, games on internet cafes than they would at home. So I bet you they like waiting until people like sign in and they're like, what are all these new females coming in here for? Get on Lime Odyssey.
Yeah,
Ah.
they play on like
Reasonable. Reasonable.
yeah, that makes total sense. The
Yeah.
tracking devices.
It's actually more of a social interaction for video games for them. So they normally go to an internet cafe and play video games social group.
Yeah,
Instead of
well,
at
that's
the
what I
house.
meant. Well, you know what I meant, Taru.
Yeah, that's why I
In
like.
case people didn't, I'm just explaining in further detail.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's why the Asian games tend to be kind of very grindy because it's like a social experience. But Lime Odyssey is actually I think they categorize it as a casual game because it's really casual, and at the same time it's really hardcore if you know what you're doing, like PvP wise and card wise and farming and bosses and all that good stuff.
Casually hardcore.
Casually hardcore. It doesn't make sense, but we'll go with that.
I'm
Um,
sure all the
Hardcore
girls
grind?
will play with
Hardcore
the
grind.
crafting system.
Can you imagine a hardcore, real-life, casual human being?
That
what?
doesn't even make sense.
Don't-
Okay,
That's
imagine
you,
a normal
Ryuji.
human being that wakes up every morning, brushes his teeth, washes up, go to work, come back from work, eat dinner, watch TV, and then go to sleep. But hardcore mode,
Hardcore sleep.
like everything that person does is hardcore. It's like, oh my God, he woke up and a grenade was in his toothpaste, so he quickly
Grenade was in
dissolved
his
the
toothpaste? How
toothpaste.
does that even work? It must be like the
don't
world's
know.
tiniest
That wouldn't
grenade.
be casual anymore.
Gotta eat that cereal.
Oh my god, a grenade in a toothpaste. Like, where did you come up with that?
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. So we're talking about Hello Venus again. Let's go back on that. Hello Venus, yeah. They have like a couple songs. I didn't really check. I just saw their YouTube. But besides that, there's a couple changes with the game. There seems to be a new instance. I don't really know about it. Still being translated. Latte is probably gonna translate it pretty soon. Um, and I think it's your class change instance. And they put it in town, so it's easy. What it was before was I did the class change instance, and it was I don't know, cause Zio played this before, so he played the Korean, like the old Korean version, I think, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever get to do like Hero's Grave Dungeon? It was like a level
Not
30.
too much of it.
So
We
it's
got
like,
wiped pretty bad because we had no healer.
yeah, it's like it was a ridiculous dungeon. So it's like a 5-part dungeon or something.
It was
Yeah.
completely different back then, dude.
Was it?
I can't really say much about the new one. They're completely different.
It was like in our alpha version, but I don't think anyone could try it because it was just ridiculously hard. And what they did was they made you do that dungeon just a class change. And
Oh wow.
yeah, so I mean I managed to do it, but then we got wiped. You guys saw the video. Um,
Yeah.
so it's
It
not
was
it's not
harsh.
super hard. You only do one part of the 5 parts, and then you have to do the easiest part. So it's not so bad. But they changed it, I think, so that you just go to the NPC in Blue Coral for Muris and human only, and you do the mini instance that they give you. But we'll have to look into that. And then besides that, there's the. It seems like a lot happened this week, because the game's going, it's having its grand opening. It had a cool, huge ad campaign that is kind of awkward to us, but it's really good to the Koreans probably. And then they had the manhwa being updated. Um, I when the manhwa came out, um, I couldn't really read it, so I just saw pictures. I don't know if you guys checked it out at all. Way back when it
It's a
did
bit
come out.
weird.
It was like
I
a
did,
gender
I realized I
bender.
needed to go by pictures too.
I've never seen it.
I've
I
looked
never
at it every
understood
She
the
single
drowns in
whole-
Thursday.
water.
I was just looking at the pictures.
Yeah, I was just looking at the pictures. I didn't get it.
Never understood the whole sex change thing, honestly.
Neither did I. It was weird. You look in the mirror and then one day just a female.
The next day you're male.
Fall in the water
But yeah.
and then look in the water and you're female.
So no, it's actually a really good manhwa and they started updating it again. Like a different translating team started working on it because the old one who did only like 2 chapters, they just stopped and worked on some other stuff. So they got a new team working on it, and they're actually putting out more chapters now. And it was like a gender bender thing where I think she starts off as a girl, and then when she goes into the game, she makes like a guy character or something. I don't know, something like that.
Gender bender.
Yeah, it's a gender.
Sounds like what I'm doing.
Sounds like Estelle. Estelle likes being a
Wow.
guy. I don't know why. Why Estelle?
Less attention.
Wow,
Wow, actually that makes sense.
it does make sense though.
Sure.
I'd be the opposite.
So they're doing
Just made things
Yeah,
awkward.
I was gonna say something, but never mind.
they're doing the whole manhwa thing. I didn't play Ragnarok a lot, but they have an anime for Ragnarok, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I've never seen the anime, so I don't know how good it is.
Never
Give
seen
up
it
on it.
except one, like, 10
All I
minutes
know
of
is
it.
that. All I
I've
know is
watched
about
it, it
that
wasn't that bad.
annoying Zenny Please song.
I don't know. I've never
I
seen.
Wait.
saw most of it. It's weird. Honestly, I didn't like it.
I see it on the
Okay.
anime
I don't know.
and stuff.
I feel like if you're gonna do an anime for an MMO, it's probably not gonna be that great because
It doesn't really work.
yeah, it doesn't really work.
No.
I don't know. What do you guys?
It's a 6.5 on my anime list. It must be bad.
Probably is. It's like yeah. I don't know. I don't.
That must be
It's
pathetic
kind
then.
of nice if you like the MMO, but it just didn't go really well, the story.
Yeah, so I was wondering, what do you guys think? Because they did an anime for Ragnarok. It's not unlikely, considering what they're already doing. They're making the manhwa. They're having K-pop stars represent them. It's not unlikely to see an anime for Lime. Do you
They
guys?
should just
Well,
stop where they are right now. They should just stop right
For
now.
Lime, it would probably better because Lime has a story, while Ragnarok kind of had a story, but not really.
It was a vague story.
Yeah, it was really vague, so like the anime just was kind of like random.
Yeah, it jumped from place to place like the old Pokemon manga from Japan, where it just like skipped from one scene to another. So you'd be like in
Yeah.
one town, and it'll just completely jump to, I don't know, probably 3 towns away.
Yeah, it made no sense, and it just went nowhere really.
So
In my
Only
opinion,
thing that was nice was the combat.
I think they should just stop where they are right now because it's basically just ruin stuff.
No,
I mean, they're doing really well right now. I mean, I can see why they would continue with stuff like that.
I mean if the story's fine, then I don't see a problem. If it's interesting, then well, it'll be good.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're gonna follow the manhwa with it. It would be kind of interesting. We'll see how that works.
The The
But
only downside would be is whatever name or character they use in the anime, people are gonna try to take that name in game and act like them,
oh my god, that just gave me an idea. I'm
Yeah,
gonna take
that's
that
true.
name. I'm never gonna use that character either.
like Sword Art Online.
That is very true.
And
I know.
Kirito,
Dark
That-
Kirito
that name
Naruto.
XX157,
Naruto 2000. Let's go.
Cloud 5 million.
Cloud 5 million.
Their names got violated like real quick.
Oh man, I forgot something about the Lime Odyssey anime. Forgot what it was though. But we'll skip that. So they're having a couple events with Lime Odyssey in Korea with the whole K-pop thing. I think on the 1st of next month is their first event. 1st of July, and then 3rd of July is another event, and then the 6th of July is another event. So they're holding a lot of events, and they hired the K-pop stars not just to do their ads, but to do their events and stuff. They might even be playing the game, so it's really interesting what they're doing. Probably not gonna do the same thing on Area because MMO like ads and stuff don't really go so well in America as much as they do in Korea, and we don't really hire pop stars to do ads for us.
Yeah.
That would just be kind of weird. It makes sense in Korea, I guess, because that's just how their society is, but here it doesn't really make sense. Speaking about the Lime story again, that's what I was gonna talk about. The Lime story, I don't know if you guys really know the Lime story. Did you guys read the stuff?
Partially.
I haven't really looked into it, to be honest.
Right.
And
But
person,
I'm gonna try to actually read the story in game.
I
yeah.
find you when the game is released, but till then I don't really want to look into it.
So it's a really good
Yeah.
story though, but I went to, cause no one really knows what the entire story is about, so I went to talk to Niago, and he told me the basics that was in the trailer. The Lime was like a tier of goddess Nisus, and then it was like in the land and powered the land. A tyrant came, he killed 2,000 people for Lime, and then he disappeared all of a sudden, and the Lime is disappearing. He gave me all that, and then he told me that there was other things involved like space and aliens. So
That sounds
what?
like Avatar.
so there was a
Yeah, it does.
the story is really, really, really in depth, and it goes really far into things we haven't seen yet. So
I like that kind of stuff.
space is involved, and I don't see how they connect that at all. But
That
it,
just doesn't make sense.
I guess I don't, maybe the Lime is not from a goddess. Maybe it's like maybe this is not an anime fantasy game. Maybe it's a sci-fi game in the future.
No.
That would
God,
be
no.
so weird.
Please don't.
But what?
Don't try to ruin it for me.
What?
Can't ruin it for me.
What if you have to go to space? In the late levels, you go to you go to other
That would not make
planets.
sense at
You go to
all,
other
at
planet.
all.
It would be like you go to other planets, and there's different races in those other planets. I can see that happening.
It
So
won't
it's kind
work.
of like Fantasy Star Online, right?
No,
I-
it won't work.
It sounds
won't
like
work at all.
it sounds like a cool dungeon map idea, and you'd be walking around in gravity trying to get stuff.
Yeah, walking around in space. I mean, it doesn't
Like
really.
Fantasy
It's kind of
Star
weird.
I don't see it
Basically the
happening.
same.
It won't
I
work.
don't
It is
see
a
how it
terrible
works.
idea. They will not do it. Don't
I
accept
know.
it.
That was way back in our previous alphas, and that was
Exactly.
the story was really,
make-
really mixed up.
They may change the story around this time.
Yeah,
Who
it's
knows?
actually it's up to the localization team to see what they can do with the story, and they'll put their own twist to it, and we'll see what happens. Area's got, Area's got a lot of problems with it, but when it comes to localization, they have a pretty good team set up for it, so we shouldn't worry too much. I think,
Look how they did Shia. I mean, they did a heck of a job with Shia, revamping it and making Phoenix. Phoenix has been booming ever since it came out.
yeah, if I go to the feedback thread though, I know people be like, oh, we're gonna point this out to me. Oh, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. Yeah, the company's got a couple things wrong with it, but it seems to be mostly with their FPS games, and FPS games I've always seen have always had a problem with any company. Take Combat Arms for example, but then
Except
again,
Steam and
except for
Valve.
Steam, yeah, but Steam is different. But
Combat Arms. Oh my god.
yeah, I've always seen a problem with it. So when I see those threads, I'm like, it's gonna always be that way, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. But
Maybe.
when it comes to games like this, they don't really screw around too much. At X Legend Games, I mean, like the Area is a good company, but they've got like a lot of bad cash shop games that it's not really. I
It's
mean,
much gambling.
it's yeah. It was
Very little
designed
start
to
and
take your
escape route
money.
extension.
That's how it was made. It was, cause the thing is, when you spend money in the cash shop in a game in Area, not only does Area get the money, the developer does too. So when a developer develops a game, they design it so that they can get money out of it too. Not just they make a game where they try to make everything as free as possible, and the publisher makes the cash out. That's not how it works. It's a
Well,
co-op effort.
well, if I can, just say something about that, I will have to say that isn't the case. Well, it isn't as big of a case of it is now than it was before, because now, like games like, once again, Shia, they actually have a loot system where before you start the game up in the launcher, you can click the free loot button and you can get like free cash shop items for like just waiting
Yeah.
for like an hour or two.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Well,
Um,
it is nice. It doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't feel like much if you really think about it.
Like, if
It
you
doesn't
get
feel
one,
like it's
you're
doing
getting a
much.
cash app item every like what, 2 hours?
I don't
That's a
know. Most
lot.
people never get anything worthwhile from it. So
Well,
they
That's
just don't
true.
bother with it.
That's true.
I don't wanna
You
go
have to
like
be really lucky.
I don't want to stray into like another game like Shia because I don't play it. I don't know much about it, and I don't want to say anything about it. All I'm saying is what I'm reading, and I'm trying to say that it's not just a thing that Area has problems with. Area has problems with it, but it's not completely their fault. So Saiken themselves, the way they designed their game isn't so that it's really cash heavy, because a lot of it is available. A lot of the stuff you see is available in game. Even things like small things that I expect to be in a cash shop, like EXP charms, stuff like that. Even that is accounted for in Lime Odyssey, where if you're in a party, or if you have a close friend in your party, or if you have a couple in your party, or if you have a really good party, or you have a guild with the buff on, you get a lot of EXP bonuses and a lot of drop rate bonuses. And that's
So
not
it
even,
should be.
yeah, that's not even counting any charms or anything that they'll have available in the cash shop.
That is actually very good, so that the game doesn't become like pay to play or like
I mean,
pay to win. Yeah, that's the thing. Pay to win.
they should be promoting like playing with people because it is an MMO. You know, it's not. You don't play MMOs of solo grind all day long.
Or to be the
I don't see how
top
people do
player.
that in the first place. I really do not see how people
Why
solo
would
the
you play
game
an
in the first
MMO
place.
to play alone? It
Right?
doesn't make sense, in my opinion.
Lone Wolf, dude, think about Sword Art Online. Why was Kirito the only person that was like Lone Wolf in the
How did he turn out in the
Bad.
end?
Right? If there were a bunch of
He
Kiritos,
still
everything would have
lived.
been fine. It would have been easy.
Girl.
He soloed everything.
He soloed everything, got the girl, and was a complete bad A. Okay.
Not
He-
entirely.
Yes,
I
he
mean, at
wa-
the start,
No,
dude.
he could dual wield. Dude, are you serious? He was
Yeah,
the
but for
only
the
person in
dungeon,
the anime
he
that could
he was
dual
in a
wield.
party.
He wasn't a party dude.
Dude, and every time he got into a guild, what happened? They was either killed or they didn't like him because they found out he was a beater. You
A
know.
beater?
And
I didn't say
Oh
that
yeah, beater. That's what
guild
beater
part,
means.
I was talking about the party.
Yeah. no, not even the party was like that's not even that's just little stuff.
He was
I'm
in a
talking
party
about
for the
guilds.
secret dungeon.
I
He was
mean,
in a
he
party
had
for
to.
the
He
major
was part of
dungeon for
the.
changing floors.
Well, yeah, he had to. He was part of the. What
The
was the
Night
crew called?
Blood Oath thing.
Knights
Yeah,
of Blood Oath or something.
the front
Knights of
lines.
Blood
The front
Oath.
lines. That's what it was.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
he was
front
on the
line.
front line.
Yeah, he was part of the front lines. But that was it. Like that's the only time he partied.
Yeah,
And with Asuna.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Doesn't
who
count.
wouldn't?
that doesn't count.
And like a few random people.
Kofu.
Oh my god. So back to Live Odyssey and not Sword Art Online or Shia or I don't know, Eden Eternal or something.
Random.
It's so random.
I like how
Yeah,
you're
more
naming
focus
area
on
games,
lineup.
though.
Huh?
I like how you're naming area games. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean like we're talking about area, so area
Or,
games.
well, since we're gonna say area games, let's just say Digimon and.
Digimon. Digimon's like a
This
portal
one was
game.
awesome. Behave. That was awesome. I enjoyed myself with
Let's
it.
go back to Lime.
Okay.
Let's get back
Yeah,
to
let's try to
line.
get back on topic.
So there's a couple more things that were updated. There was like oh yeah, here's a big one. Life class was changed from 25 to 20, and it's really big because even though it's 5
why?
levels, it's it's like a whole different area basically. From 1 to 15, it takes like if you know what you're doing, it takes like I don't know, an hour and a half. 1 to 15. That's basically the tutorial of the game. It explains how the game works, explains how to use the burst gauge, explains how to do the tutorial dungeon, how dungeons work. Again, you get your class changed at one from 1 to 15, and then from 15 to 20 is when you start doing things on your own. You start building up parties. You start joining guilds. You do the quests on your first map, and then once you hit 20, it's time for you to move on to the next map. But 20 is also the time when you get your life class job, so you've got everything set for you're just basically set for the rest of the game, and it sets you up really nicely, and it also prevents the whole thing where people can just remake another character, give them the mats, and then make them max crafting level, because that would just be really boring and really bad for the game economy as well. So it was a really smart idea. I kind of like it. I didn't like going all the way to 25 because it took me a long time to get there, but I was playing by myself, but it still took a pretty long time.
It only
But
took about a day and a half.
it was a day and a half like continuous playing or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was playing by myself, so it doesn't take very long if you play with friends again because of that whole EXP buff, drop rate buff, all that stuff.
Speaking of, what is the EXP rate normally?
Um, I don't know, but I think Area has control over that as well. They can
Yeah.
usually the Korean games have a much higher EXP and drop rate because they have less players than say an international game.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So how come 14 to 15 like the EXP requirements so high?
It's like a huge jump from 14 to 15. 15 is when stuff gets real. You start doing things. You're on your own basically.
Yeah, that's after the tutorial, so you're going from like 10 times more EXP
And
need.
they do that
It's
every
like
time
welcome to the
too.
real
Like they
world.
do it to screw you over a bit, cause it's always the level right before your job change. There's like you need 3 or 4 times more EXP than every other level, and only just for that one level up. And it's always the level right before you class change. So I think they just want to make you work extra hard for your class change. And I don't know, when I used to play games
Challenge.
back then, I was always like, it always felt super long right before I was gonna get my next weapon set or next class change. It always felt really long, and I guess this time they, instead of making it feel really long, they actually made it longer, and it's kind of fun too. It's challenging.
A
The
challenge is always
challenge
good.
and to see if your skills are the way you want it to be.
So basically, you're like a bird from like a baby bird from 1 to 14. And as soon as you hit 15, it's like
They
you're about to
kick you
fly.
off, yeah. They just throw you
Okay,
off,
that's crazy.
and either you fly or you get someone to help. That's what happens.
I fly solo.
Or you die.
Oh, they have the mentoring system as well, and I don't know. A lot of people don't know about the mentoring system and how it works. Um, it's a it's a really good way to make a lot of money very fast if you know what you're doing and you're a good mentor. What you do is you reach, I think, level 20 or 25 and above, or maybe 30. Actually, I think it's 30, yeah. Once you hit 30, you can start mentoring people. And what you do is you go to like a low level area, you go look around for people that need help. And then you make them apply to be your mentor. And then once they're your mentor, they get a huge buff. I think it's the EXP buff or something. And they get money.
Yeah.
No, actually, I don't think they get money. But you get a lot of money every time they level up. And it's just a very fast way of making money. But there's also a limit on how many people you can mentor. I don't know what it is, but it has to be in place so people don't get instantly rich right away.
You know, and another thing with that, because I know a lot of new players that get into these games that try out, because I actually like been with players who actually done this. They would get into a game, have a mentor, and like they'll be like, okay, hold on, I'll be right back, log off and never log back on. So there should be
Yeah,
like a delete system for the mentors,
yeah.
mentorship.
I used to play Forsaken World or something, and it was like a mentor system, and you just join to be a mentor, and that's it. You never talk to that person again. I don't even know. It was like a horrible system, and a lot of games do that mentoring system. I don't know how it'll be in LO or what you can do, but LO is designed to be that type of casual group playing game, so seeing something in place to prevent that would probably be nice and probably likely, hopefully. I don't know.
Seems like Lamb Odyssey has learned from the mistakes of other games,
Yeah, they had.
and like improved it on their own game.
I mean, they
It's
had
good.
like 2 years to fix everything, and a lot of people are like, it's gonna be old. It's an old game now because it's been 2 years. But I don't understand how that logic. How can it be an old game if it's been in development till this point of time?
They just finished development. It's not an old game.
Yeah, it's not like 2 years ago they stopped development and they let it sit there and then they decided we're gonna wait 2 years from now and then we're gonna release the game as it is right now.
It's just
That's
that
not
people
what
are
happened.
impatient.
Yeah, that's not what
It's
happened.
impatience.
Yeah, right.
They want
I-
everything to come quick.
A quick question.
All right.
Dual clienting won't be allowed, will it?
That's up to area. Probably won't be allowed as far as areas games go. I don't think they allow.
Wouldn't that
Some
be
of
up to the
them.
developers?
I don't know. Is it up to the developers? I think it's up
I'm
to.
pretty sure it is.
I think it is too.
Because I know in some games people go through their folders and they find the application file and they're somehow able to double client or triple client.
I don't.
Sometimes
They
it's
use
really
an
simple.
external source.
Sometimes
for
it's
what
really
they're
simple,
doing.
yeah. Sometimes it's really simple, and I think it's up to developers, but I also think because I remember GPotato, like at one point didn't allow FlyFF to be dual cliented or something, and then they themselves decided it could be dual cliented. I think they asked publishers to fix that, but if you've ever played FlyFF, you'd know that
Flip.
like 60% of the players are just like dual clienters, so like there's only 40% of the players are actually players. It's really bad, and I really don't want to see that in this game because it would just be like it would ruin it. People would just like make a healer alt or something, and then their real character, and then they'd make like a full party. I don't know. There was
I
this one
wouldn't say
guy.
they do it so much for that, but other reasons I won't really say.
There was
Like
a
money making purposes.
money making
Yeah,
purposes.
mainly money making.
I saw one
Like
guy.
the mentoring thing, for example, that would abuse that.
Oh my
Dual
God.
clienting.
Oh, guilds can definitely abuse the mentoring system, especially if they wanted to.
So yeah, I don't think it'll be allowed.
Yeah, I don't think so. It would be a terrible idea if they
Hopefully
did.
not.
Yeah, I don't. I think they know that they're gonna screw themselves over if they allowed that.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah. There was the guild skill system, and I made a guild in the last Korean testing phase, and I didn't really see how you get skills. Actually, I'm gonna explain the guild system because I don't think a lot of people know about how the guild system works now. How it works is you use money to level up your guild right now, as far as I know, and you can only donate money every hour, and you get to choose how much you donate. So if you donate like a very low amount, you have to wait another hour to donate again. And they do this, I guess, to lower how fast people can level a guild or something. I don't know why they did it.
Is there a limit to how much you can donate per hour?
I don't know. As far as I know, you could put a custom amount.
What's the max
Then-
guild level?
I think there might have been a limit, because that would just make sense with why they had the hour cooldown.
Yeah, they have speed limit. That would make no sense.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. And guilds also have 3 different types of skills. What are they? I don't know. I mean, 3 different types, not 3 skills. Like, I don't know. All I know is one of the skills background was like a sword icon, one of them was like a shield icon, one of them was something else I don't remember. But you have 3 different types of skills. Probably stuff like increasing your bank or increasing your member limit or something like that.
Probably has to do with build versus build.
Yeah. And I was really interested because I saw the sword and the shield icon type of skills, and I was like, and a lot of games have guild skills, but they don't have, real guild skills. They're always passives and stuff. But it would be kind of cool if guilds had skills that could use actively, maybe with a really long cooldown, but like heal all members or something, and something that would be used in GVG. That would be pretty interesting.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Also, it could be a little bad because it might be kind of tough. Well, it's not bad because to level a
Yeah,
guild
there's
it just
access
costs
to it.
money. So it's not like, hey, this guild's top, like high level guild has all the skills, we can't beat them. No, you just level your own guild with your own money. It's not like you're always gonna be super low and not have the ability to get those
Everyone
skills.
has access to it. It's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah, you won't be bad as well, cause like if the cooldown's like let's say 3 hours, then you won't be able to use like every single minute of every day.
yeah, you gotta use it on like one of those big raids or one of the big GVGs or something like
Jeez.
that.
Definitely have to time it correctly.
Yeah, you have to time it. That was interesting. I don't know what they are. I don't know what you guys think they would be. It was like a sword and shield icon. I'll
Maybe
look for the
attack,
picture later.
Wasn't there
boost,
a
defense
book
boost.
icon too?
Yeah, I think the book icon was the one that had the member increase and stuff like that. Or it might be
Probably
magic.
was.
Maybe
Different
That
categories,
kind
like
of.
one for guild versus guild, one for just like passives for like I know, like adding more members and stuff, and I don't know, maybe something for like PVE.
yeah.
I probably think that upgrading guild gives you the ability to increase your members amount.
Yeah, I was
So a
hoping.
low level guild would have the smaller amount, and a larger level guild would have a larger amount.
Yeah, I was hoping it would be something like that where if you level up your guild, you naturally get this many more slots. And you naturally get more space in your bank or whatever. And I know I always compare this to RO2 for obvious reasons, and everyone knows which game is better. But RO2 had a guild system, a guild skill system in place. And I think what you had to do was you had to every time you level, you get a point to increase your bank or something, or increase your member slot or something like that. I didn't really like that system. I found
That's how it was in RO1.
was it?
Exactly the same. But they also had skills for like war.
Okay, that's good. 'Cause RO2 didn't have the skills for war.
That's because war's not in yet. But yeah, they will probably add that.
Okay, then that's good to hear.
Speaking
Well,
of banks,
speaking of bank,
what is the bank system gonna be like in the guild?
guild banking system, I don't know. Again, it was all in Korean, so when I got a guild, there was really limited to how what I could figure out from what there was in it. Maybe we'll figure out more this time around.
Yeah.
But
What about
I hope it's
personal
like-
things?
That kind of reminds me about the housing system, sort of, and like I hope the guild system will somehow get influenced by the housing system.
yeah, I think it was designed so you can make your own guild towns. I think it was also made so you can make your own like player towns with your friends if you didn't want a guild or
Yeah,
something.
I can imagine having like a storage room for your guild mates and being able to put all your stuff in there for other guild mates to use.
Yeah, that would actually be kind of cool. Like your own guild, a legit bank, like a building that's a bank,
Yeah,
a
treasure.
storehouse, a treasury. There we go.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of Grand Fantasia and Rift. Their housing
Yeah, guild.
systems and their guild housing systems. It's kind of like that.
Grand Fantasia isn't really a guild housing system, more like a guild base. That's about it.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a base.
well, yeah, sure, but still.
This is probably something I'm kind of wishing for, but even if they do, the storage house, it'd be nice if they made it to where you could only take out items of your class and not other class items to like sell or do whatever with.
Yeah, you gotta be. I
Yeah,
guess
sure.
when it comes to that type of stuff, you gotta be sure who you give privileges to. Also, what I really like about the housing system is, I find most games' housing systems to be kind of pointless. Like, there's not much you can do with your house. But in Lime Odyssey, it depends on your life class. You build a building based on your life class. So if I'm a chef, I could build like a restaurant. And I don't know how that really works yet because there isn't really much news on it just yet. But I like that type of housing system where you can actually do stuff with your house instead of just having a house where you can store items or just, walk around in or get buffs in. Like, it's just something you use actively and often.
I would like it in the guilds, like in the guild money system, like for let's say if you take out a certain amount of money, but then you have to give it back with a slight bit of interest or
Like a loan? You want to guild
Yeah.
loans?
I
yeah.
don't
Yeah,
think
that would be
necessary.
between players. That wouldn't be between the actual system itself. That would be between you and another player.
Exactly. Players can do that themselves.
Yeah, like what happens if you take a guild loan out and you can't pay? Just like
You just can't blame the system for that.
you just like get your character deleted or something.
Right. Put a loan
That
on
just
my
doesn't
character.
work.
I want like 500k gold.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just wasn't rich enough. That's all.
Yeah, I think it's a player interaction kind of thing. Again, this is the type of game where you don't play by yourself. I mean, it's an MMO, but
It's a group game.
in MMOs, I think I read an article and it was like something like 50 to 60% of players in MMOs play by themselves, and I don't understand why. How is it an
This game's
MMO?
enforcing like group play.
People like me want to be Kirito, okay? We want to be able to play a game where dual wielding is not allowed, but we do it anyway because we're like, not like.
So,
I don't know what
I
to say.
think it also deals with the lack of ability to interact because you don't really need to interact that much inside most MMOs.
And I was just
Yeah,
about
you have
to
all
say
those
something about
antisocial
that.
people.
I'm
Rather,
glad you brought that up because honestly, and I know Blue gets sick and tired of me bringing this game up, but honestly, I love bringing this game up just for the simple fact of its interaction with players. Rift has one of the best interactive systems for players that are new ever. Considering the fact that you have so many ways to play with other players instead of playing by yourself, and it helps you
I
actually level up
agree. Yeah.
faster. You have PvP with the raid teams, you have the adventure modes, and you also have, the dungeons. And the dungeons are a huge part because I'm a dungeon person myself, and I know Lime Odyssey is going to have that dungeon aspect to it as well. But, I just hope that they took that route and they actually made it where you can actually channel, or not channel, more as in queue in for different type of adventure modes or, you know, something like that. So that way you can interact with more players and there won't be as much, lone wolves, as I call them,
It
So
has
it's
playing the
not
something
like
game.
for everyone.
RO2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going back to that, I'm really glad you mentioned that because Lime Odyssey was designed for the whole community interaction thing. Uh, One of the minor things they have, and a lot of games have, a sort of party search system or dungeon queuing system. A lot of games have it, a lot of games don't use it. But the way they designed it is in LO, at least in the Korean one I was watching it, I was looking at, it was like a full list of just parties, and it tells you the roles that are needed. It tells you who's already in the party. You can put yourself up and put your role up to queue in for a party if you're doing the same quest or if you're doing the same dungeon. It was really nice, and I really like that. That's only one of the things that
That's
they have.
awesome.
Yeah, it's really
Didn't
awesome.
RO2s have that?
RO2, they
Because
had like a dungeon queuing system. It was really similar, but the way they designed it for LO, it was really much easier to see what class was what, who's going with who needs what. I mean, you can have 8-man parties. There's eight types of classes overall. Yeah, 8 types of classes overall once you get your class change. So all of the classes were listed, all of the roles were listed, and you get to choose and you get to queue up. And it was really great way to find a party really fast because it is a very party-based game. And besides that, there's a whole dungeon and raid system, and it was designed so that you go into a guild. Like guilds are really highlighted in this game, whether you're a casual guild person or you're a hardcore guild person, it's really highlighted. If you want to find a raid, you want to join a guild, and if you can't join a guild for whatever reason, you don't like joining guilds, there's that whole party and raid queue up system again that they have. It's really good. I like how they did it. Hopefully, really depends on how the community here uses it. I know the Korean version it was used like all the time. I used it. I joined a random party when I was testing it before. I it didn't really work out because I didn't really know what they were saying, so I left the party. But eventually, I got into a party with a friend, and he explained everything to me about that. It was really great. But
It
hopefully,
sounds it sounds like a really good party system because there will be less discrimination against certain classes.
yeah, and you can have 8 people in your party, so it's not like you need 8 people in your party. You can,
Everybody's required, but
yeah. It's like if you want to do a big raid, uh, or if you want to do a dungeon, and it used to be you had 5 people in a dungeon, you can still do the dungeon with 5 people, but then you get 3 other people, extra people to help out. So you know how games always have way too many DPS, and then in games like this, there's always that problem with people looking for parties and they can't find parties because there's too many of one class. Well, now you can have these huge parties. You can have a bunch of people in one party doing the same dungeon, and that's really nice.
So you're basically saying there's like a rating system for the dungeons, right?
Right,
There is.
there is a raid. I'm gonna go to the dungeon topic now. There's dungeons and then there's raids, and how dungeons have dungeons have traps, puzzles, keys, um, mazes. What else did they have? They had parkour as well now. Uh, I don't know what else they had, but they have a lot planned for it. A lot of it is already implemented, and that's just dungeons. Now I don't want to go into raids because I don't really know much about raids. I've seen a couple, like the dragon one, but raids are crazy. That's all I can say. If in dungeons you can have 8 people with all that stuff already in just a normal dungeon, you can imagine. And I was talking about, and dungeons come in multiple difficulties. You can go easy, normal, hard. I think actually, I'm not sure about easy, but it's like normal, hard, and like super hard or something like that. And I only did the normal one.
Okay, well, to go back on the dungeons, when you was talking about the party system for the dungeons. Now, is it kind of like, you know, because you were saying that there's multiples and multiples of classes actually going into these dungeons, and it might be a little problem, because of the fact there isn't as many um,
Yeah, like there's too
different
many DPS or
classes.
something.
Yeah, like if there'll be too many DPS. So will it take the Rift approach, and make it where when you queue in for a dungeon or find a party, will it be like, okay, well this party needs, say, healer. We're gonna queue you in for this party, or this party needs a support. I'm gonna put him in
How
with this
how it
party.
works is the party leader just put when he puts up his like thing to find parties, he chooses or he or she chooses what he needs for his party, and the icons show up and stuff like that. And then when you look for your party, you'll find the roles and the icons, and it'll explain to you what this party needs, what class this party needs, what role this party needs, and you join in, and that's how it works. So you'll always find the party you need, and if you can't find a party, I mean, there's a lot of people playing, so you probably will find a party, and that's how it works.
So are you
Sorry to
able to?
interrupt you, but Ace DC'd.
Ace DC'd. God damn it, Ace.
He's in the lounge.
Ace did DC. Welcome back, Ace.
So for the
Thank you.
party search, are you able to shorten it down by going search through dungeons and then click on your class to shorten down the party listing?
I don't really know because again it was in Korean so I couldn't read it, but we'll probably find out. I don't know if I can look into it too much. I guess I can look into it during the grand opening. I'll go talk to Alvar who let me use his account. I'll probably use it when he's
Oh,
asleep
okay.
or something and I'll test it out.
Okay, another question, and this is probably coming up in a later conversation, but this is a question that I personally wanted to know: the marriage system.
Oh,
What do you know about it?
the marriage system. The marriage system is really interesting. Um,
Can I
it's
have like multiple wives?
No, but you can get your wife together with you and beat people up, beat other couples up in couple
Oh,
PvP.
that's
Beat people
nice.
up.
Couples
Oh
PvP.
wow.
Couple
Couples
PvP. Wow.
PvP.
Yes, there's
I
couples
like that
PvP.
already.
This sounds like an event type of deal.
There's like
That
multiple
actually sounds
PvP
kind of
systems.
nice
There's couples
and
PvP.
funny at the same time.
And okay, couples PvP. Before I get into it, it's either you and your couple versus another couple, or you versus your couple. I don't really know how it works. I'm gonna give a guess and say it's you and your couple versus other couples because that's the only one that really makes sense. But it sounds really interesting. Other than that, how it works is I think you propose to your couple and you get like points, like love points or something. I don't remember by giving them bush like roses or something, and then you get married and you get a ring when you get married and you get an EXP buff when you're with your couple and you can teleport to each other whenever. And those
Is
are
it like a cash out item?
I think it was like at the couple NPC where you buy it, so that should be fine. Unless area decides they can change. I don't know if area can change that, but if they can, then I don't know. We'll see how that works.
It would be a pretty funny idea if they had one of those options I've seen in other games where you can make like a little dating profile and have people
Uh,
find you.
So
Loosen
is it
heart,
like
cough, cough.
yeah, loose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
loose
that's
heart.
it.
Lucid Heart, and that one other like chibi game. I forget what it's called.
Post your
Um,
information and find your couple mate.
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, that was pretty. I think the whole marriage system in that game was pretty intense. Because honestly, I never thought that you could go through so much just to end up with somebody that you don't even know. Because
Yeah.
you never talk to them, you just want the buffs. At least in this one, it's pretty much interesting with the couple PvPs and stuff like that. That should be interesting since there are events for couples. That's nice.
Yeah, it's not like you just join a couple for the buffs. Now you join a couple, you probably want to PvP with your couple, you want to get to know your couple. It's not like you
It's
get
also a
married
good
for the
thing for
buffs.
boyfriend and girlfriend to do.
Yeah.
People
So,
are people are probably gonna do the idea on the forums though and be like, hey, let's make a thread and find people.
Yeah.
oh God.
I mean, I think I saw that, didn't I? Like, I think Ari posted something like that thread. Who's gonna play with your couple or something like that. But hopefully, oh my god, that just a dating service for Lime Odyssey? What the hell? No, let's not do that.
Aw.
Let's not do that, please. No. If that'll happen, will happen in game.
Okay,
Wait,
that
what?
works.
I don't know, but yeah, I think we should end it here. It's been like an hour, almost more than an hour. That went by pretty fast. Um, I went ahead and I talked to the GMs, asking them if they had the client yet. They'll have it soon. The game's still not released in Korea until the 4th, so obviously they won't have a client yet.
Happy days.
Day.
So we're so close.
Latte's on.
Latte's on. We're so close. We're so close,
Drag
Oh
Latte.
my god, latte.
Latte, we're so close. We're almost there, Latte.
Latte. Hi, latte.
We're almost there,
We're so
Latte.
close, Latte. So
Hi,
close.
latte.
I was at the doctor's.
Okay.
Aw.
Aw.
I'm gonna end it there. Everyone's gotta say bye now. Everyone's
Wow.
gotta say bye. Okay.
Bye,
Latte,
everybody.
say
Me and
bye.
Latte gotta talk.
Latte.
Bye.
See you later.